This Week in Connecticut with Dennis House starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and straight ahead this Sunday, November 17th, 2024. She made national headlines when someone shared her anti-Trump video. Today, the former Cheshire teacher at the center of a social media firestorm sits down with us. The man in charge of the state's money is with us, too, Comptroller Sean Scanlon, on what he's been up to. And would he want to run for governor? Straight A's, it's a report card anyone would want. Hartford Healthcare President and CEO Jeff Flax joins me to explain how they got great grades. But first, the lead. Imagine sharing a video with a group of friends, and in days it goes viral and comes back to haunt you. That's exactly what happened to a teacher in Cheshire who posted a video critical of Donald Trump supporters that led to the end of her teaching career and turned her life upside down. She sat down with me earlier this week to talk about the mistakes she made that led to personal threats and how she hopes to move forward. Miss Dunleavy, we thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know you've had quite a week. What are you feeling today?
I'm feeling grateful for this opportunity to share my side of things and hopefully apologize, take responsibility, and move forward from this in a positive way.
Let's go back to right before the election. Tell me what you were feeling.
I was feeling a lot leading up to the election for quite some time. You know, as a woman, I have my concerns. With friends that are minorities, I have my concerns. And there was fear, anxiety, anger, worry. A lot of feelings came along with all of that.
And you were disappointed by the election results.
Yes.
You supported Kamala Harris.
I did support Kamala, yes.
Next day you went to school. How were you feeling that day?
I did a really good job of putting it out of my mind that day and going through my job. I did have a good day at work, you know, lots of support, friends around at work too. But then after school was when I kind of received some of the comments and things that had come out during the day after the result. So that was kind of when I started to feel more upset.
What kind of comments did you see that got you upset?
I saw a lot of men commenting that basically they had won, women have lost, we will always be kept down. There were comments about, you know, it's your body, our choice now. You will never control your own body. A lot of comments like that about women having the rights to their bodies.
You decided to make this video.
Yes.
What was the thought process to come to the decision, I'm going to put something on Snapchat?
Yes, so I had felt, of course, all of those feelings, anger, anxiety, fear, and I went to a private platform. It was a Snapchat account. I do have a friends list that was able to view it, but it was a private account. So although the internet is not a safe place, I felt safe venting on this platform. It was just kind of to get my feelings out. And, you know, of course, it didn't come across the way I intended for it to, but it was just a moment of being overwhelmed and anxious and just trying to put out that I want to protect myself. You know, I never meant for it to turn into what it has turned into.
One of the quotes that I know upset many people. If you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and then I can handle you how I see fit. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the blank you voted for. You're not in the clear. Please, please don't test your gangster on me because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so
it sounds like a threat.
It sounds very extreme, and again, I was in a moment of high emotions, and I shouldn't have ever posted the video. But what the message I was trying to get across, and it came off very wrong, was, you know, if this is going to give people the almost permission in their minds to enact violence against women or anybody, I wanted to basically just say, like, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I will fight for myself, and if someone was to try to hurt me, I would, you know, do what I had to do to protect myself. You know, and that all came out in a very aggressive tone, in a very aggressive manner because of the, you know, emotional state I was in at the moment. But I know and love Trump supporters, and that was not the point I was trying to make. And yes, I said, I know who you voted for, I know what that means, but basically that was just, again, me being aware of what your intentions are. And these are not your typical Trump voters. These are the people who have taken it, you know, to a more extreme level. And I have seen some of those extreme things, and it, you know, I bought into it and I believed what they were selling me about being afraid for my life and things like that.
So Wednesday night, you recorded this video, you posted it on Snapchat. A few days days went by, nothing happened, and then Saturday came around. What happened on Saturday?
So Saturday was the first that I heard of it, so I'm not sure if anything happened before that, but on Saturday I received a message from one of my friends that there was a post on Facebook going around about me, and it was this video and, you know, comments about who I am and where I work and things like that. That was the first that I heard of it on Saturday.
So we're not going to mention this person, but you know who did it.
Yes.
And you know who shared it. And what was the reaction after it started to go viral?
So at first, I was obviously worried that it was on Facebook. I didn't want anyone from the public to see it. You know, it was intended for a private audience. But once I saw that, of course, I became very worried and, you know, just regretted it immediately that it made it even to Facebook. And then I believe it was Monday that it hit X, Twitter, formerly Twitter, and it was extremely viral, and now I think we're up to like 7 million views. I haven't even looked at it. I don't even want to see it, but it got very big very quickly.
You go into an elementary school where you're praised by children, and now all of a sudden you're being criticized. What were some of the things people said to you on social media in response to this video, and how did it make you feel?
So there were a lot of threats that came from this. You know, a lot of people wanting to come and hurt me now because I said that I would fight back. People kind of wanting to prove that I couldn't beat them. Again, a lot of men threatening to fight me and things like that. I was also doxxed, so my address and phone number and my parents' home address and phone number were also shared online. So I think that just, you know, I did something wrong, but now I'm even more in fear of my safety because of the reaction of, again, the extreme people out there, you know, with their violence.
What's the impact on your life been? Have you been able to sleep?
Not a lot of sleeping, not a lot of eating. I can't even stay at my home right now. I'm staying somewhere else, a safe address that is not posted on the internet. So it's definitely been, you know, a lot dealing with the regret and how sorry I am for posting it in the first place, and then just kind of the level that it's been taken to, and my safety being threatened and my family. I mean, I can handle this, I did this, but to hear people threatening my family specifically by name is extremely worrisome, and you know, that's something I feel awful about.
Let's talk about your job, because there are parents and there are people in Cheshire who think that you should be fired for this. That they're very upset about it. That how can you care for children and say things like that?
So I will no longer be working there. I have graciously decided to leave, and you know, I definitely did not want any negativity coming to the Cheshire community or the Cheshire schools, and that's one of the biggest regrets that I have with this. You know, so I am removing myself from that environment to hopefully restore peace and, you know, ease people's minds to know that their children are safe, and, you know, I'm not there.
Those who know you say you love teaching. How hard is it to walk away from that?
It's hard right now because, you know, this is not who I am as a professional or who I am as a teacher. I've devoted my whole life to this, you know, preparing my whole life. I always wanted to be a teacher from the time I was a young child. And, you know, I finally worked my way up to that, and I am well respected, which I appreciate. I love my students, I love their families, I love the people I work with. And you know, I'm just trying to do what's right now to get my life back on track and get back to what I love, and it's my biggest passion in the world.
What's your message to those parents?
Those parents, I am so sorry that you had to see that side of me, because the only side of me I ever wanted you to see was what you saw and what I did for your kids and what I did for you, and I hope that I was always a support and always did everything that I possibly could for you, and I promise you that I intended to, and I did everything I could to be there for the families and the parents, and just how sorry I am that now this is out there and they have to see this side of me.
As you know, many people took this very seriously. Police started to investigate, but what have Cheshire Police told you?
Cheshire Police did say that they had to investigate me. They did an investigation, and it seems like that investigation went well, and I have not done a criminal act, and I'm not going to have any charges.
And they just called you a short time ago before this interview to tell you that, right?
Yes.
What did they say exactly?
They said that the report had been completed and it was reviewed by the district attorney's office, or whichever office it was in, and they had said that it was, at this time, it could be closed, and, you know, there's no charges.
How has this changed Annie Dunleavy?
I think it's going to actually change me in a very positive way. You know, this is a very negative situation. I've made a huge mistake, and so the only thing I can do is learn from it and move forward.
So if someone out there is criticizing you online and says that you are a danger or a threat to the public because you made these threats, what's your response to that?
I mean, I hope that people know, you know, I am not a danger. I would never hurt anyone. I have never hurt anyone unless my safety was in danger, and that was the point I was trying to get across, but I completely understand why it was taken a different way.
And now you know that putting stuff on social media isn't the way to get
Absolutely
to
not.
elicit change.
Right.
Would you ever consider perhaps running for office or getting involved in something that would perhaps lead to change?
Yes, I think that, you know, that was my initial thought of how I could make a change and how I could share my views, and clearly that is not the right way to go about it.
Annie Dunleavy, we wish you the very best of luck, and thanks for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And again, to everyone who's been affected by this, I'm so sorry. I hope that you can see that I'm going to move forward positively from this, and hopefully, you know, people can see the real me now.
We'll be right back with the State Comptroller after this break.